All right. We've seen the trailers. We've seen everything that comes with Cartethyia. And I just got to say, obviously, it's like going through and finding out about how hot Stacy's mom is, right? Because we all know that Cartethyia, the mommy version, is the best part. I'm just saying. That's just me. But I will say that she has a lot of potential to be one of the better arrow. Well, there's only one other arrow DPS, but you get what I mean. Like, she has the potential to be a really, really good DPS, especially with how much they've invested in her actual, like, I guess the best way to put it is her animations. Like, overall, she's gonna sell a lot. But of course, should you summon for Cardathia? And that's what we're gonna talk about today. But of course, before we get into that, like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Don't forget to check out, obviously, Gamer Subs. Use code TYSTRA for 10% off of your purchase. Today's flavor of the day, Only Fox. Yes, a great tasting flavor of mango and lime. Probably one of my favorite flavors right now. And I haven't been able to actually drink it too much, but now that I'm back drinking Only Fox, I'm very happy boy. So let's go ahead and first talk about the 4 stars of these banners, because honestly, if you're looking at it from a whole entire banner standpoint, this banner isn't worth it. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the only good 4-star in this group is Baiji. Now, Baiji is a really, really good healer in general. And at the beginning of Withering Waves, she was able to actually do a lot of DPS power. That being said, she's kind of fallen down a little bit. She's still meta, right? She's still in the meta characters, right? And I'm using Pridewind as an example because I will agree with these, or I keep wanting to say A ranks because it's easy. But I agree with these placements when it comes to the 4 stars normally, because 5 stars I think is a little bit different. It's a little bit more, or much more harder to gauge sometimes the differences between like 1 or 2 characters. But with the 4 stars, I feel like it is a little bit easier to gauge, especially against the other 5-star characters, and especially for healers. Like, we have Shorekeeper, we have Verena, and then the best healer for the 4 stars is obviously going to be Baiji. Now, that being said, there is another healer on this banner, or someone that can heal, and it's a character that I don't think really is that good, and it's Yoo-Hoo. Now, I might get arguments from certain people, and that's fine, but to be perfectly honest with you, Yoo-Hoo is just really not that good. Like, the times I've played Yoo-Hoo, I've just never had fun with this character. And I get it, with Yoo-Hoo's whole kit, it's like you get the 4 things like symbols, and you could do an extra attack or whatever. Her burst activates those things as well. And it's like whatever, but it's the fact that the randomness doesn't really work all that well as any type of character. Now, of course, when you look at this tier list, right, saying coordination and sustain, right, but it's just not good. It's really just not good. I don't think that I've met somebody who mains Yoo-Hoo or even touts about how good Yoo-Hoo is, because Yoo-Hoo's just there. Like, Yoo-Hoo is just a character that, I'm going to be real, only a certain demographic of people actually care about. I'm just putting it out there. But I digress. Like, Yoo-Hoo's kit, while unique, is, as Pridewind says, very niche. It's a niche kit, right? So overall, if you're summoning for Yoo-Hoo, I don't know why you are. I can only assume. But I mean, for me, I don't need any more Yoo-Hoo, because honestly, I have her fully maxed out. But at the same time, it's just, she's not a good character. She really isn't. And it's the same for Yalto. Yalto is one of the characters that came out at the start of the game. And while, yes, Aalto can be fun, in my opinion, I think Aalto has a fun kit. It's just not good, right? There's a difference between having a bad kit in general, and it's just based on, BS. And then there's a kit that's fun, but it just doesn't work. That's Aalto. Aalto is just not a character that's going to be breaking damage, or breaking damage is such a weird thing. Bringing the damage in general. And Aalto is right down there with Lumi. And the only difference between him and Lumi, in my opinion, is that Lumi's actually cute. I for the people who love men, Aalto is probably hot to them, and that's fine. You know, it is what it is. But I don't think that the Aalto is in anybody's teams being ran on a consistent basis. Now, people could argue with me, and that's fine. You could make a strong Aalto. You really could. You could even make a strong Yoo-Hoo. But my point still stands is that just because you could polish a turd doesn't mean that it looks great, right? Like, to me, both of these characters are just polished turds. And it's nothing bad about them. Like, their characteristics and charm outside of battle is their own thing. And their personalities are, you know, great, whatever. They bring something different. But when we're talking about should you summon, at least in my opinion, I'm looking at if you should summon for a character because of the fact that they're going to add value to your account. And when you're looking at the 4 stars, if you're going for just a 4-star and you're not going for the 5 stars, right? I feel as though you're kind of putting yourself at a very big disadvantage because no matter what, like, to get the specific 4-star you want might be even more challenging at times than it would be to get the 5-star. And an example for me is that in Genshin Impact, when I was summoning for Sethos, I was just trying to get Sethos. I summoned a lot. I could not get Sethos. I ended up, what was the banner? I can't entirely remember. But I do remember me trying to go for Sethos, and all I got was the other 4 stars in Genshin Impact. So to me, when you're thinking about these banners and you're actually thinking about summoning for a 4-star, it's going to be a little bit more challenging if the 4 stars that are in the banner are not all up to par and worthwhile, right? I hope that all makes sense. But if you are summoning for any of the 4 stars, it would be Baiji, and you still get Baiji for free anyway, so you would just be summoning for not Constellations, whatever they use for their thing. I can't remember off the top of my head, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and start talking about Cartethyia, right? Cartethyia is going to be an arrow DPS, apparently. And from what the actual animations look like, yeah, she's going to be absolutely insane. As we can see here, Cartethyia is undoubtedly a must-pull as per Game 8, right? Thanks to the versatile kit that lets her deal significant damage in both of her forms, which showcases her gentleness and elegance as a blessed maiden and her unwavering resilience as Leviathan's vessel. In her base form, she applies arrow erosion to inflict consistent DOT, making her a strong fit for teams focused on debuff application. Upon switching to her fleur-de-lis form, she shifts into a burst damage role, amplifying her arrow erosion effects and unleashing a devastating cleave that can obliterate enemies caught in its range. So basically, she's going to have her arrow erosion DOT as her base form, and then when she switches into the fleur-de-lis form, she's going to be doing a lot of burst damage, being able to consistently hit for high numbers, right? And that's good. I think that overall, Cartethyia and fleur-de-lis as a combo unit, because that's what it is really good. And I think that honestly, you should be summoning for this unit, especially if you didn't summon for Gion originally and you're still trying to build up a Gion like I am. Like, honestly, you might, like, in my opinion, if you're building up your Gion that you just got recently, you might as well stop, because Cartethyia, in my opinion, is going to be the better of the 2 arrow DPSs, just from the looks of everything, and how she's going to be able to just do consistent damage, right? And why I'm saying this like that is that you can tell when a unit is going to be at least a little bit better in regards to DPS compared to other counterparts. Now, of course, there's certain units that in certain situations can out DPS, like Zani can out DPS, obviously, Jinxie, but there are times when my Jinxie just pops, right? But I don't know. I think that overall, when it comes to like the tier list, I think that she's going to be up here alongside Carlotta, alongside Phoebe, Zani, right? And if she isn't, and she's right next to Camellia and Jinxie here, that's still really good, because like I think that she's going to top Gion regardless. Gion is just not going to. I don't think he's going to top her. Now, when it comes to Whimpering Waste, I don't know. I have no idea if in Whimpering Waste if she's going to be better, but we'll definitely have to see. overall, outside of the 4 stars, Cartethyia is a must summon, and I think that if you are summoning for any of the specific 4 stars, I would go for the extra copies of Baiji. That's just my opinion. But of course, if you like the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Wuthering Waves video comes out. And leave a comment about if you are summoning on this banner. Would love to hear your opinions. But that's going to be it. Love you guys to death. And as always, we will catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.